In an effort to turn the seemingly endless war in its favor, Dyfed employed wizards in its army, a line that had never before been crossed. This escalation was met in kind by Kalamor, who enlisted the merciless Minotaur to fight on their side. Dyfed used magic to twist their own men into fighting monstrosities, the Wargar. For decades, the war between the two kingdoms raged on. Whole families, whole generations were wiped out. Finally, the tide of war turned in Dyfed's favor, and their victory was all but guaranteed. Fearful and desperate, the king of Kalamor sought an ancient, powerful evil imprisoned deep below his city. After months of digging, the king found this evil and made a dark pact with it. The evil was known as the Slag, a pool of silvery liquid that required a living host to be bound to it. Now, host to the Slag, the king was left changed forever. Crueler, harsher, but very, very powerful. With the dark power now at his command, he unleashed a force of demons against Dyfed, turning the war sharply in Kalamor's favor. Now Dyfed was the desperate kingdom, but a mysterious woman robed in white appeared to the king of Dyfed and offered hope, in the form of a magic gemstone. With this gemstone in hand, the king ventured deep into the wilds of Govad and used its powers to seize control of the mighty dragons. With these great beasts under his command, the king of Dyfed attacked Kalamor and laid waste to the city. He then hid the gemstone in the small village of Lear to keep it out of his enemies' hands. Kalamor and its king fell before the onslaught of dragons. But the two mightiest dragons, who took the king's final breath, were drawn to the deep pit of Kalamor, home of the Slag. The silvery liquid called out to them, and they drank, and in doing so, broke the spell the king of Dyfed had placed on them. Fueled with power and hungry for vengeance, the two mighty dragons returned to Dyfed and burned the kingdom to the ground. Their retribution complete, the two dragons returned to the Slag and slumbered for many years. And so, in the end, Kalamor and Dyfed both were utterly destroyed by their own folly. Centuries passed, and the once small village of Lear grew into a mighty kingdom. But as humans repopulated the lands above, one of the mighty dragons, the Great Black, stirred deep below Kalamor. Under the influence of the Slag, the dragon viciously slew its mate. In sacrificing what it held dearest, the Great Black became the new host for the Slag. Vowing to end this threat to his land, the king of Lear hired the dragon hunter Anuvin to kill the Great Black. The king gave Anuvin their sacred Deathstone, unaware of its true power to control dragons, but hopeful that its other abilities would prove useful. With the Deathstone in hand, Anuvin and his allies set off to slay the Great Black. Tracking the White Dragon, they found the Great Black in the massive pit of Kalamor. Armed with the Deathstone and the powers it gave him, Anuvin slew the Great Black, but he was lost to the Slag. Possessed, he killed his lover and partner Seraphim, sealing his and her fate. Then he used the Deathstone as it had been used in the past, and took control of the dragons. Anuvin never returned to Lear to claim his reward, nor was the Great Black ever seen again. The king could only assume they both slew each other. The king dubbed Anuvin a hero, and for a time, Lear enjoyed a period of peace. But unbeknownst to the king, Anuvin secretly plotted against him. Now known as the Master, he enlisted the aid of the proud Minotaur in exchange for Slag. The Wargar too joined Anuvin, putting aside the hatred of the Minotaur for the power of the Slag. Striking out from Kalamor, they raided human villages far and wide, taking the peasants as prisoners. The prisoners were enslaved, forced to rebuild the defenses of Kalamor. News of the disappearances reached the king of Lear. The king sent out scouts, who reported back that the hero of Lear, Anuvin, was behind the raids. The king attempted to make peace with Anuvin, but to no avail. Then, deep in Anuvin's stronghold of Kalamor, the Death Stone was stolen by someone once close to him. Flying into a rage, afraid the stone would be used against him, Anubin tore the eyes from his dragons to prevent them from being enslaved by a new master. Hungry for more power, he ordered the Wargar and Minotaur to bring him prisoners by attacking the city of Lear. The town of Dyfed was besieged by the Wargar, and its people taken away. As more prisoners were brought to Kalamor, Anubin moved them off the walls and deep into the citadel. There, at the heart of the Slag, he sacrificed them all, increasing his power with every life taken. And yet, despite Anubin's power, the Huntress and the Warrior breached his defenses and slew him. But in their quest, they too partook of the power of the Slag. Its evil consumed the Warrior, who slew his partner as a sacrifice. And now the Slag lives through him, until a new, more powerful host comes along. And yet, despite Anubin's power, the Huntress and the Warrior breached his defenses and slew him. But unlike so many before them, they resisted the power of the Slag, breaking its evil cycle. They buried the foul stuff beneath the earth, never to be found again. Or so they hoped.